Welcome to Tia's Conversation Lounge. I just wanted to hop on here to talk about our recent updates as we're tracking the current earthquakes that are happening all over the world. And we're looking at the most recent quake that happened in Taiwan. So if you're keeping up to date with what's happening, you'll see that there is a news article, I'll post it below, of Taiwan being hit with another earthquake. Listen, we are seeing an increase in earthquakes and seismic activities in Taiwan. They had 180 aftershocks. Is that normal? I don't think so. I'm like, this is like, wait a minute. What is Mother Nature saying to us right now? What are we seeing? What is a story behind the earthquakes? Why is this happening now? And why is this happening so frequently? This is like, although we may say, oh, Taiwan's known to have earthquakes, right? They've had other earthquakes, but what's happening right now? What is the fault line communicating? What is it saying to us at this time? What is it that we can become aware of and look and forecast ahead? Are these pre-warnings of a future bigger earthquake, a larger earthquake that could happen? Could this even be a more global seismic activity, not just isolated to Taiwan? So this is something to really look into if we were trying to forecast the potential possibilities. What is this conversation that we're seeing happening right now with Taiwan and the seismic activities of the earth? What are we receiving from Mother Earth? What is she saying to us, right? So if we are looking ahead and preparing, we are now connecting this to the message that we received from the beloved higher self, creator of all that is, the masters and teachers, celestials, however you want to call this, right? The creator of the entire universe has generously given us a pre-warning or heads up of the upcoming earthquake and tsunamis that will occur, or that could occur, because we can't predict earthquakes, right? They say we can't predict them, but there's a high likelihood of this happening, right? Because it came from the creator, right? The original message, if you want to watch this or read this, is on the Lily and Beyond Facebook page. You'll see there's an article about the Taiwan earthquake, and it has a plethora of articles and information that could help you be more informed. But to connect this now to the message, this was the message we received, that this is just the beginning of something that is going to be occurring soon. And we are being given the gift to, or the grace to be able to prepare ahead, prepare our families, whatever preparations are needed for you and your family. Everyone's different depending on where you're located and what your needs will be. This is a time to reflect, to slow down, to ask ourselves these questions if we've never asked these questions before. Because many of us go about life and we're in the fast lane and we are not seeing or able to forecast or see or feel intuitively what's going on in the world. And many are not receiving maybe the intuition or intuitive hits from their higher selves because there's too much busyness and too much workaholism or too much to-dos, that the ego keeps us on the doing spree, that we are unable to listen to what the guidance is for us to do and to prepare. So now is the time. We're being given ample warning and heads up to take this time to go into introspection and look at this as an opportunity to deepen our connection to the source and to create a more intimate relationship with our higher selves and cultivate a more meaningful life through that connection. And so, if we have a global catastrophe, where do we want to put our anchor? Because if we do have this in June, at the end of June, right? If this does actually occur, right? Where will our security be? How will we face this storm? You know, and each person will have to answer that. When we are facing a storm, the greatest security and anchor is within the source, and that is the only safety we have. So if we are anchoring in that, then we can face this without doing this alone, right? If there's a higher power that we can rely upon to give us sustenance and care, comfort, and to hold us, walk with us, hold our hand, embrace us as we go through these changes, both internally and externally. There is with great destruction comes the other side of things, right? So when we are facing catastrophes and destructions, we also have the other side of it, where there is the opportunity for renewal, rebirth, just like the phoenix, right? However, many people are not used to that level of destruction that could occur. This is something that we may not see happening. It will happen suddenly, because earthquakes are things that you can't really prepare for, like a hurricane, you know. So what would be the wise thing to do? Depending on where you are, it doesn't even matter. How can you best prepare? Is that food supplies, or is that, maybe for you and your family, it's leaving where you live for that particular period of time? Who knows? It could be buying, water, buying enough groceries, because with a catastrophe of this magnitude that could impact many around the world, right? Global supply chains will be interrupted. Maybe bridges will go down. Maybe grocery stores won't have food right away. Maybe electricity maybe there'll be an outage. I don't know what could happen. I mean, we saw COVID. Did you? Yes, COVID. Toilet paper. You remember toilet paper? Do you remember having to get toilet paper, and how there was so much panic just getting that and food? Well, it was more toilet paper. I just remember toilet paper. I just remember that was like scarce. Okay, it went out. So anyway, then prices went up. I noticed that there were prices that went up just to buy toilet paper. So we may even see that with the food, an increase in demand, but also people not being able to access that if you're not prepared. So, waiting until last minute, not taking heed or action, thinking that this can happen to you, going into fear, doubt, denial, all of those things are possible with the mind. Just looking at that and exploring, what steps do I need to take if this actually happens? How do I keep my family prepared and ready for anything that could happen this year? We are in the middle of World War III. And yes, we are going through so much collectively. With this message from the divine, from the creator, we have the opportunity to prepare ourselves mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, on all levels for what could occur. I mean, I can't predict anything, right? But let's say this is going to happen, right? If it does, and there's a high likelihood of this happening, how do I best prepare me? How do I prepare my family? Or how can I serve other people during this time? Because we are not just for ourselves alone. There's also our brothers and sisters and many others who are going to go through so much. And if we're in a better place, then we can offer a helping hand or support to someone else. I think that's all. I just wanted to bring attention to this again. Taiwan is in a hotbed right now. There's a lot of seismic activity happening there, and it's raising a red flag. Like, there's something happening. And if we look deeper, we'll see, for you to have 180 aftershocks and earthquake after earthquake in such a short period of time, that means that there is something going on with that earthquake belt or whatever the fault lines, right? All the fault lines, and that fault line is connected globally. So aside from that happening, we've had scientists talk about the big one. This is not abnormal. Like they've been studying this for years, right? The big one is something that can occur anytime. So prepare, guys. This is so important right now that we take this message and like run with it if you are willing to. It's your free will choice. You decide. And I think that's all. I wanted to say thank you if you've watched till the end. If you have any questions, feel free to post below. Yeah, I wish you all the best, Namaste. Thank you. Bye.